Hi, I'm Larry London. On today's Border Crossings, we welcome British singer-songwriter Jake Bugg. Jake is currently on tour for his sophomore album, Shangri, and he will perform songs from the new CD on today's show. Jake has been nominated for 2 Brit Awards, the Ivor Novello Award, and the Mercury Prize. And both of his albums have topped the UK charts. Stay tuned, Jake Bugg is coming up right here on Border Crossings on Music Alley.
Our love's not enough.
Border Crossings, a song about love. It's Jake Bugg, who is promoting a brand new album, and he's here in Washington, D.C., just ahead of a trip back home to London, where he's going to be on the Brit Awards. We welcome Jake Bugg to D.C. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
I know you were saying the song is hard to sing, and it's probably, harder when you're here early in the morning and being on the road singing so much as you've been doing lately, but we're glad to have you in our studio. Congratulations on all the success. You're just 19.
Yeah, well, I'm 20 this month. So.
You're this month, right? I know, 28th, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm a 28, so not a teenager anymore.
So, you're sad to see the teen years go, or?
Oh, it's a big part of your life, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Growing up before the world.
I know, I got to feel like I've got to, try and achieve more than I've achieved in the last couple of years now. So.
Now, that's going to be difficult. I mean, of course, you have a long, long road ahead of you, but you have achieved so much. I was looking at all the nominations you've had, and you Mercury Prize, which is huge. Ivor Novello is huge. You were up for a Brit Award for Breakthrough Artist, and now you're up for the Male Solo Artist of the Year at the Brits. So, I mean, and you were at the Grammys, and you've done Ellen. You've done so much in just a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been great, man. I mean, I didn't think I'd do any of all of what you just mentioned, but it has happened, and so I guess the only thing to do is to keep going, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And I read where you're working on a third album. I think it's a third album, but you don't want to talk about the title just yet.
Yeah,
but
I don't get where that's come from.
Oh, not true. Okay, good.
I've said I'm always writing, but I would like to, well, it's always, I love making records, so it'd be nice to get a few more songs together and get in the studio and see what comes of it.
Mm-hmm. So the first one was titled Jake Bugg, and the second one, now the new one, is Shangri. And why did you pick that for a title?
Well, that's what the studio is called, Shangri,
mm-hmm.
and it just, just being there, it was just nice because I've been traveling around a lot, and so to be in one place and not have to move in a beautiful environment, and that had an impact on me, and helped me feel inspired. It was, it's just really nice, memorable moment.
What do you make of all these award nominations? You won the Q Award, but what do you make of all this attention and all these award nominations? And
well, it's it's nice to be nominated for doing something that you love doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not I win any of them, it won't change how I feel or how I go about writing music.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still stay the same. So it don't hold a lot of sentimental value for me, but it's great that people want to nominate you for something you love doing.
Mm-hmm. Would you call yourself a low-key kind of guy? Because you seem very, calm, cool. You got it all together.
Yeah, I like to keep myself to myself, and if anyone wants to say hello, then I'll say hello.
That's great. Jake Bugg is in our studios here in D.C., and we're going to ask if you do a song for us. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll try, yeah.
All right. What are you going to
do? This is a song called Storm Passes Away. I think it's the last one on this new album.
All right, great. Jake Bugg.
As the clouds roll by, I can see the sunshine. Cause it's sad and slow and oh so close. We fell together, made our way. But now it seems that you don't need me. Where will you go when the storm passes away? 'Cause I'm on my knees, turn off the darkness, please. Where will you go? Cause they keep saying just like a fallen man. All the things I hoped you would say. Your radiance runs deep in my color scheme. Where will you go when the storm washes you away? 'Cause I'm on my knees. Turn off the darkness, please. Where will you go?
That's great. Sounding great. Jake Bugg in our studios. Now, that song sounds a little rockabilly. Would you agree? I mean, as you put that song together, you think you get any influence from the rockabilly era?
Yeah, I think it's got a certain country feel to it, I think. And well, I was actually in Nashville and I was with my friend Ian and in Brendan Benson's studio. And Ian said, I seen he's in Nashville, we should probably write, a bit of a country song. So I just started singing and playing, and he laughed and he said, what song's that? I goes, I don't know. I'm just singing it. And then so he started panicking and started looking for the recording machine, and it just came by accident, really.
Yeah, well, in the song you have the lyrics, I'm older than I'm supposed to be. And it's kind of interesting that you are only 19, yet you're influenced by the Beatles and Don McLean. These are not your typical 19-year-old influences. Your typical person out there would say, the Beatles? I mean, how did you come to find these artists, and why did they influence you?
Well, I mean, everybody knows who the Beatles are, and when I started playing guitar, when my uncle showed me, the first few chords, he was a big fan of the Beatles, and then he put Jimi Hendrix on for the first time, and I was blown away, disheartened at the same time. And then when I kind of get into an artist, I love going back and looking who influenced them and where it all goes back to. And because that initial feeling of excitement you get when you discover a new record or an artist, it's a bit of an addiction for me. So I just keep searching for more and more. And
Don McLean's been on the show before. He's been here. Yeah, he's performed here. And I know that you started singing Starry, Starry Night, I guess, was one of the... Vincent, was that one of the early songs that you picked up on?
Yeah, well, I was about 12, I think. But, man, it's just a great song. I made some good songs, man.
Now, do you ever have people compare you to Justin Bieber? I mean, I hate to ask that kind of a question to somebody who's an artiste. But, you're 19, you got the look... that attracts the girls, and probably people would, if somebody says, we're booking a musician in our hotel, and you walk in the door, Justin Bieber, in the U.S. So.
Someone informed me that I am actually 1 day older than him.
Oh, well, there you go.
So.
He needs to respect you. You're older.
Well, it's I think it's more to do with the hair, to be honest. But, I don't go for that look. I just wash it and let it lie.
Yeah.
And walk out the door.
So who are your fans? I mean, who comes to see Jake Bugg? Who's buying the records?
Well, it's quite an interesting mix, really. It's like, at their shows, it's kind of really young girls at the front, and, they kind of bring their mothers, and I think the mothers get into the show, and then they probably bring their mothers and they get into the show. So it's a mix of young and old, so it's nice to see.
Well, this is, like I said, the journey's just starting for you, so this must be an exciting time, putting out the second album and having all of the attention that you've been getting, here in the States especially. You said you can come to the States and it's like starting over.
Yeah, man.
Because, the first album didn't get much airplay here, but this new one's getting some attention, so it's got to be an interesting feeling, to be a superstar back home and then come here and it's like you can walk down the street without people chasing after you.
Yeah, definitely, man. But it's nice because it is like starting over again, and, like back home... or like in Europe, as the venues get bigger, you start to miss those little ones a little bit more. So to come back over and to play the, slightly smaller venues is It's nice.
And you did share a stage with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So how was that?
It was cool, man. It was an honor to to be on stage before them. But I said to my band before, I said there's 80,000 people out there, but remember that they see the Rolling Stones. So if one person claps, then it's a good thing. So you're getting the one new fan, and that's kind of what happens.
Did you get to meet Mick or Keith or anything else?
I met Mick, and I met Ronnie Wood. He's cool. He's a funny guy.
Did they give you any advice or have anything to say?
No, it was just kind of, he got given some flip-flops and it was, I don't think he liked them too much.
Jake Bugg's in our studio, and this is Border Crossings here on The Voice of America. Would you do another song for us?
Yeah, man. This one's called Me and You. It's just a little song, that can be interpreted by people however they want, so.
All the time, people follow us where we go. We both should believe the path that we chose. And I hold you with such delicacy, 'cause they won't catch you and me. It's all over the road all the time, and if you want to, I won't mind. Please don't leave it, I don't know what to do, 'cause they won't catch me and you. There are too many flashes and Gordons round me. There's too little time and places to see, and we can wait so patiently, 'cause they won't catch you and me. It's all over the road all the time, and if you want to, I won't mind. Please don't leave it, I don't know what to do, 'cause they won't catch me, and all of these people that want us to fail, I won't let it happen now. Just you believe me, I'll hide you discreetly, discreetly from this cruel world. It's all over the road all the time, and if you want it, I won't mind. Please don't leave it, I don't know what to do, 'cause they won't catch me and you. No, they won't catch me and you. No, they won't catch me and you.
Sounding great, Jake Bugg, here on The Voice of America. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you.
You get paid for a living for singing, and it's great that you come in here and you do this kind of thing for radio stations. I really appreciate that you do that, because you're working hard. You hit that; those are upper registered notes you're going through.
The note, I just can't sing.
What's your favorite part of the business, songwriting or singing?
Well, I love both. I love writing songs. I mean, that's the time when you get creative, but to be able to go on a stage and to, sing those songs like it's the first time you've sang them is, it puts you in the place where you was and how you felt in that moment of time when you wrote the song, and when people sing them back to you, it's it's great. And sometimes they even sing them back to you with different interpretations, like the song Two Fingers off the first album. What Two Fingers means back home isn't what
Right.
they think it means here. So, it's all peace signs over here, which is nice to see.
Right. So, I mean, it's great that you're able to put your thoughts and feelings into music. Now, this isn't a breakup album because you talk about anger, you talk about some hope and some other things. There's much more than just, man-woman relationships or man-man relationships. It's much more.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was nice to make this album because it felt more like an album than the first one, all the songs are written in the last year, and so it's quite relevant to the things that had happened, in the last 12, 16 months or whatever. And and it's nice to sing some new songs as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the first album, I think is it this the album that came out number one, that debuted at number one? Was it the first album or is it Shangri-La?
The first
one, Jake Bugg. Now you're the youngest artist from the UK to debut at number one.
Yeah, I believe that's what someone said. Yeah, that's no one beats it.
Yeah. How modest can you? That's what someone said.
well, I don't go reading reviews or go looking for that kind of information. So the only way you find out is when somebody said this about you or someone said that.
Well, you are the in guy right now, and I know that even Billboard magazine called you named the album one of the top 50 albums of last year. So, I mean, you don't
top 50.
Top 50, yeah. You don't get, well, you want a top 10. You don't.
I do.
You don't
Not
get
that modest.
So, I mean, what about the future? What are you going to do in 2014? Because the new year just started. So, what's the plan for this year?
Well, I suppose quite a lot of touring, really. And in the meantime, I hope I can gather enough songs to form another record. And whenever it comes out, is yet to be decided when it's finished, I suppose. But yeah, just a bit of touring and seeing more parts of the world I haven't seen yet, which is great.
And so this album, you've got the Rick Rubin touch, and there's talk of the next album as well. Now, you must obviously have liked working with Rick Rubin. It must have been a good chemistry there, because that's important to like your producer.
Yeah, certainly. And, I didn't, I think I didn't really know how much of a reputation he had before I went in to do this album. So, I got to meet him for Rick rather than Rick Rubin. And, it was great, and I think he's just great at getting the best out of the artist, and a lot of the songs were actually just ideas I had knocking around, and he kind of made sure that I pulled them out and made them into songs. And just the musicians he put around me, I felt, helped me to progress as a musician and as a writer, and it was just a great experience all around.
So maybe you can help me understand something that I haven't been able to wrap my fingers around. A lot of artists who become very, very famous in England, like, for example, I don't know, Jessie J, Jake Bugg, you guys are big in the UK, and then America's a whole different area, but yet everybody likes music. And why is there a difference between why would Jessie J have to redo her album for America versus, I don't understand why there's a difference between the two countries.
Well, I'd say one of the biggest differences would be the fact that we have, one radio station you kind of got to get played on, and if you get played on that place, if you don't get played on that station, it's kind of over, really. And,
really? Is that BBC One or something?
Yeah, in some case. Whereas over here, if you don't get played on a station, there's a million different other ones to go to, and that's the thing, you got to be here, really. And Americans, I think they just want to. You just have to be here, I suppose.
Right. Do you come here often?
Yeah, I will be. I'll be here a lot more often this year, certainly. Yeah.
Are you going to be planning a tour in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'll have another. Well, I love touring here. I toured here in September, and I've just finished a tour on Saturday. So, yeah, it's great touring over here.
No, and you mentioned something about you hear about things from other people. Where were you when you heard your music on the radio for the first time, and what was that like for you?
It was actually It was a strange experience because it was on my local station when I was still 17 at the time, and they started playing the track and it started skipping. So I'll never listen to it ever again. Never ever comes on. And like I was in the car. I came off the tour bus and I got into the car. My song was playing on the radio, and then I know there was a few fans outside, and I thought I just got into a car with my own song blasting out of the windows, so I asked the driver to turn it off.
Really?
And
most people would say, "That's me. That's me." You said, "Turn it off."
It goes any station. I goes, pick any other station you want, just get rid of it.
You don't like hearing yourself on the radio?
Not really. No, I mean, just don't want to jinx it. And you know, I mean, I enjoy hearing the songs when you're in the studio and you're writing them. But when you've had to sing them, a million times, and you have to go on stage and sing it, you know, like it's the first ever time. And I love that bit because it's live. It's different. If you mess up, you mess up. But you know, with the radio, you're not. You know, it's not compulsory to listen to it. So.
What's been the highlight for you so far?
The highlight so far.
Yeah, there's been so much going on, and you're only 19.
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few, man. But I'd say one of the biggest highlights was definitely making this album. I think, you know, I never thought I'd be in, you know, a place like that, in a studio like that, or working with the people that I work with, and to get an album out of it. And you know, I've already achieved much more than I ever thought I would, and have much more than I could ever wish for. And so, the only kind of thing to do is to do whatever's necessary to be able to maintain, you know, doing your tours and making your albums. And you know, this album was a kind of another stepping stone for that.
And answer me honestly, have you written your thank you speech for the Brit Awards?
No.
For the best male artist?
No, I've only won one award, and I didn't have a speech. I just said cheers.
You said cheers?
Yeah, because I think if you start saying thank you, you know, and start mentioning names, you always forget someone. So.
Well, don't forget us. I mean, you know, put us in your speech. I'm going to be watching, you know.
I won't prepare one because I have a feeling that I won't win. So.
Maybe. I don't know. I've heard otherwise.
Oh, well, so have I.
Jake Bugg is here on The Voice of America, and singer-songwriter, very talented musician. Who do you want to work with going forward? Because you know, Rick Rubin and whatnot. I mean, who's on your wish list that you'd like to work with? As far as artists, producers, whatever.
Yeah, I don't really have a wish list, to be honest. You know, I'm just kind of staying focused on, you know, what's going on, you know, with my stuff at the minute. But you know, I'm kind of someone, if I'm around in town and I have my guitar with me and someone says, you want to come by the studio, I'll do it. You know, I'm not someone I don't really like to organise those things. I enjoy moments of spontaneity. So, yeah, so, just see what happens. That's the exciting part. I didn't know how this record was going to turn out, and I might record a song with somebody else, and it might be awful or it might be cool. So.
Now, you were called a rebel. Do you like that term? I mean, the person at NPR who spoke with you, she wrote a story and referred to you as a rebel.
Oh, well, I don't. Why is that?
You'd have to ask her. I don't know, but you were telling me, you know, you were on the Grammys and you did 3 songs instead of 2. That's a little bit.
Yeah, well it was just at a party. My songs were short though. My songs were short, so I thought I could squeeze it in. I had 10 minutes because they said 2 songs and you have 10 minutes, and I knew I could get 3 songs in that 10 minutes, so I'm going to do it.
It's great to have you on our show. I mean, you're a pleasure to talk to, and you're a lot of fun, and you're great a musician. Songwriter, musician.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're going to be big here in the U.S., so welcome to the States.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's it like for you when you play around the world where they don't speak English, but they know your songs? I mean, how's that feel like?
It's great. It means if you forget the words, it doesn't matter. But it's funny when you see the Japanese try and sing along. They're not even singing the right words, but they're having a go. So that's always nice.
Well, we've got them listening right now, and I'm sure they love your music. And as far as getting the album goes on the internet, where can people go besides the usual iTunes, Amazons, and on your website?
Yeah, you can go to the website, just jakebugg.com, I think. And but you know, it's always nice to go down to a real record store, and you know, you might find something else you'd rather listen to. So,
And who are you listening to?
Who am I listening to? It was quite a bit weird, really. It was a guy called Vangelis who made two albums with John Anderson, I believe.
Instrumental music.
On these 2 albums that he made with John Anderson, like John Anderson singing, so
right.
And it's quite electro and a bit poppy and a bit, you know, 80s, but there's some deep, pretty cool melodies in there. So you know, I listen to all kinds of music. You know, I like a little bit of classical music. You know, so something to be taken away from everything, even if it's not what to do. So.
All right. Well, we've got time for one more song.
All right.
So I'd love to have you play something. What are you going to sing for us? And what's the story behind this song?
Oh, this one was kind of just like. Well, I thought with this second album, you know, I wouldn't, you know, cover the subject of, you know, my hometown or what I was from, but actually, after everything that's happened, to go back and see it now, you know, from a different perspective is actually quite interesting. So this is a song from a different perspective of where I'm from.
creeping out my window. I haven't slept all night. That drum just keeps on banging. They must be buzzing at the minds for bees in a hive. Tell me when the morning arrives. This place is just not for me. I say it all the time. My friends, they just ignore me. Tell me never mind. Waiting all your life on a storm build some rise. Slow through sunrise. Nobody cares or looks twice. Shine away in the morning. Across the place where I was born in. Every bruise, every flower illuminated by the dawning. My face upon the concrete, the dirt is in my mouth. I clench my fists and feet. I'm trying to cry out loud, make a sound, something is keeping me down. This place is just not for me. I said 1,000 times. My friends, they just ignore me. Time and never mind, waiting all your life on a storm build some rise. Slow through sunrise. Nobody cares or looks twice. Shine away in the morning. Across the place where I was born in. Every bruise, every flower illuminated by the dawning. Place where I was born in. Every bruise, every flower illuminated by the dawning. Every bruise, every flower illuminated by the dawning.
Jake Bugg here on the Voice of America in downtown D.C. And so why music? Why did you pick music?
Because I don't know how to do anything else.
Really? I mean, your parents supported that? That's kind of what you said, I'm going to do? And
well, funny enough, my mum and dad actually used to do music, so as a kid you kind of want to rebel against it, and it was always soccer for me all the time. And then when I picked up the guitar, you know, it just kind of, I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't put it down, and there was something that, you know, just moving your fingers slightly and you could make this sound that I thought was beautiful. I don't think anyone else did at the time because I was just starting. And, you know, it was something my friends didn't do, and it was something a bit different. So, and I had nothing else to do, really. I mean, it's just my guitar sat there in my corner and twiddling your thumb, so why not?
Well, you know, it's amazing. You're so talented, and you know, there were so many shows going on in the UK and the US. These, you know, trying to promote young people and talent. The X Factor's big there. We got The Voice and American Idol and so on and so forth. What do you think of those shows? As somebody who's doing it his own way on his own terms and didn't rely on those shows, I mean, what are your thoughts about those shows? And
personally, and those shows for me, it's I see them more as a, you know, popularity contest rather than, you know, about actual, you know, people who actually got talent. And you know, no, I'd rather, you know, if it was a show where people went on and they, you know, did their own songs and you know, and just had a go, then it'd be cool. And if it was more about the music, it'd be great, because it is great exposure. It does give people an opportunity to, you know, have a chance and have a record deal. But if it was actually going to the right people, then, you know, I'd have no problem with it.
What if there's a 17, 18-year-old out there who's saying, I want to be the next Jake Bugg? What advice do you have for them? Don't
want to be the next Jake Bugg, you know, just be yourself, you know. You shouldn't aspire to be anybody but yourself.
That's great. Great advice. All right, Jake Bugg is here, and the album is called Shangri-La, International Star. We're so happy to have you here on our stage, on our show. Thank you very much for doing this for us.
I know, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And I want you to come back when you're in D.C. again, please.
Yeah, that'd be great, and I'll be a bit more awake next time.
Jake Bugg, our guest. And, of course, the album is Shangri-La, and he'll be on tour in 2014 and hopefully coming to a place near you. I'm Larry London. This is Border Crossings on TV. Stay tuned.